just add that little bit of weight. The Rink's playing very well at this moment. All four hands playable, which is great for the players.
Yeah, certainly everybody's enjoying all four hands being playable. Sometimes there's the odd one that might not be favoured, but none of them are worried about playing any of the hands.
Right, Jimmy. Get up now. All the way back. All the way back. Start him out. Well done.
Done. So not Jamie,
Almost
Rob.
half a ball short of it. It's up to you. You can try and run through it, or else a nice draw for a second shot.
Rob's certainly looking at this, quite favours himself on a running bowl. At the early stages of a game, it's always nice to just get your drawing weight. A few people in the crowd today, so just need to find that pace. He came up with some superb bowls in their previous game.
I think so, mate, yeah.
Against the defending champions, which was Jason Greenslade and Les Gillett. Rob Paxson played some outstanding bowls.
But a yard through.
Is it just two?
If you remove
Just
that
heard
ball,
from
you're
our production team that we had a
probably
couple
four
of
down,
gremlins on the YouTube stream there, folks, but you're now back with us, so we are fully live on YouTube and Facebook Live. If you're just joining us, this is the first semi-final of the Open World Indoor Pairs
Gently here, Rob.
Championships.
Gently, Rob. And drop.
Cracking bowl from Rob Paxson there.
And it's fallen over as a touch or two.
One red.
Jamie coming a bit more weight this time.
Down a bit.
Lovely
Down a
track.
bit.
He's got it.
He got it solid.
He's got the respot if it goes out.
Has it gone out though, Dan? Looks like it's
I think it's still in.
possibly still in. Of course, if the jack goes out the side confines of the rink, it goes on a respotted position. That looks to have just stayed in. The confines of the rink are determined by the yellow markers on the backboards of the rinks, and the toucher is marked in the ditch with a green sticker to tell you that that's a green bowl that touched the jack on its course. Lot of room for Rob Paxson here.
Yeah, all he's got to do is bowl to the respot.
You see the ball coming up to where that respot would be.
Well done.
One.
So opening end, just the one shot, I think. Oh, we're looking at
Quick string.
Oh, they're asking for a quick string on that bowl. Our camera angle
Yes, go ahead.
doesn't really help us with this one at the moment. The umpires being called to determine this with strings down. We don't often see the strings. There's not often measures that far away unless it's a displaced jack.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there while it's...
yeah, when we've got a long distance, we'll get the strings out. Pointers on either end.
No,
is
it's
it
alright.
the bowl in the ditch that's
Just forgot it was
the one they're looking towards? I'm not sure at the moment. Looks like two. Yeah, two shots.
Two shots, Paxton and Ross.
Good opening end there for the 2-0 in red, Rob Paxton and John Ross.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
I've got Dan Blewett with me for the entirety of this game before he has to hot-foot it down to be part of the officials team in the next game. So if you do have any questions, we are on the Facebook live feed. I know I have got one to put to you that was put to me earlier. We've had a couple of times where the jacks rebounded up the rink, Dan. There's a rule on how far before it becomes an illegal jack.
Yeah,
is that correct?
That's correct, yes. If it the minimum distance for a delivered jack is 23 metres. Should the jack rebound back up the green, the minimum distance it can then be is 20 metres in a direct line from the net to the jack. And the whole of the jack must be past the 20 metre mark. So that's the distance we're playing with, 20 metres. I think the one yesterday was around about 22, and the other one I think was well within.
Very good, mate. Get over the top of it. Up over the top of it. And again. Okay, shoot it, mate.
Oh, fantastic bowl there from Mark Dawes.
Down the other, mate.
Just to add to the short jack, had it been less than 20 metres, it would go under the respot rules and be respotted on one of the appropriate spots.
Great effort here, Oscar. Really good, mate. Really good. Great shot.
Played it by Johnny. Chalk spray being applied by Marker Allen, indicating that's a live bowl. Should it go in the ditch, it remains live throughout the rest of this end. Great result there for
Good
Mark.
result. Anything to open it up helps.
Should the live bowls end up in the ditch, they are still deemed to be live. Bowls that haven't touched the jack are dead if they go in the ditch.
2 green.
And the pairs rules here. Both players have got to return to the mat at the same time that skips and cannot come back up to the head until they've delivered 2 bowls unless they request to do so off the marker. Slightly different rules to those you'll play in under national rules.
Sometimes
Hold
they
and run.
forget to ask us as well.
Not quite. 2.5 feet.
But in the heat of the moment, that can happen.
Just a nice forehand draw. It's a lovely forehand this.
Oh, yeah.
If you perfect weight,
Alright, mate.
swing all the way back to centre.
Pace
Needs
isn't
a
that bad,
little
to be fair.
help here.
Counting. Some
Well,
good
Rob.
track here from Rob.
Finish it out.
Has he got the
Finish
legs?
it out.
Yep.
Right across.
Just that in front of it, mate. Fancy under there or not? Like that, you just can just
Jamie.
drift round it.
Wants to play a little bit of weight or not.
Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter to me. What do you prefer?
That's close. Obviously just a
Just
tie.
going to hang off.
All right.
It's currently 1 red. does favour that running bowl, Jamie Chesney.
He's normally very accurate with it too.
Run by or swing away
Close
quick.
again here. Doesn't want to set up a target.
Yeah, it's not too
Good
bad.
ball.
Two red.
The 2 bowls go.
Summit.
Jamie will be after it, I think. It's worthwhile going for it. If he gets it, Jack stays where it is. Worth 3. Bit more control pace this time, but he's very narrow on the target there.
Very unlike
shots,
Jamie to be
back to
so
the
far
rough.
off target.
Set score 4-0 after 2 innings.
Two good opening ends there for Rob Paxton and John Ross. The other semi-final follows this semi-final straight
Back
away,
length,
and that's
28.5 metres.
features Andy Thompson MBE and Mark Royal, and they're playing the world #1 Greg Harlow and his partner Nick Brett. So in for some good bowls this afternoon.
Really good, mate. Really good opener.
Try, mate, not far.
And again. And again, mate. And again. That's not all bad. 18.
Good to have so many people tuning in and watching.
Short through it, mate. Right,
Sure.
mate, next up.
Club members in the 4 clubs represented today will be watching their club mates, cheering them on, urging them on. Big prize if you win this game today. You're going to the World Pairs
Run on.
final.
Run.
Go. Alright. Open something
Asking
up.
for a runner here,
Yeah, Jamie
Jamie.
asking to open it up. There's a lot of things in the way. Mark doesn't like that.
Mark doesn't like that. He's another player that wears his heart on his sleeve, definitely, when he bowls a bolt. You find out from Mark what he thinks it's going to do. Considered a
One red.
quiet man off the rink, but certainly can be quite vocal on a rink. So Jamie going now
On
on
target.
target.
He's
Alright.
cleared the front ones out the way. You can
He's
see
been
the jack
unlucky
now.
there though. He's taken his own bowl out as well.
Still safe down the back, just slipping your front.
Yeah, draw away.
3 red.
up now.
Just some inside, mate. Not quite
Of
through.
course, Rob did the double at the pairs back in 2015, winning both the world pairs and the world mixed
Okay.
pairs. Won the world pairs playing with Simon Skelton, who's now dropped out of the top 16. He's here again. Is Simon in the singles? He's got his fight back, wants to actually get back into that top 16. Been putting a lot of hours in
Keep going.
practice in.
Right effort, mate.
So
Start.
Rob's no stranger
Second
to
ball
the
on 'em.
finals. Here he's been to the final of
Well.
the open singles as well.
One red.
Just lost out.
Bump it there is good then, isn't it?
Okay. Good night.
And Jamie Chesney and Mark Dawes lost out at this stage last year in the world pairs.
Well, gently now.
Good track here.
Well, run back. Well done.
And that's not made the target any bigger either.
Two reds.
Jamie's got the draw here. Just an adjustment on his last bowl. Don't think there's a great deal else on. He doesn't want to take his own bowl out or he'd drop 5.
Getting a chance out from that angle.
Steady now.
Here he
Bend
comes.
all
Got a
Bend
great
it all
chance
if it's a
here.
good weight.
that. Right effort, mate.
Small margins he's playing with out there.
2 shots, Paxton and Ross.
And you consider they're
Set
throwing
score,
the
6-0
bowls
after
over a
3
distance
ends.
of 23 to 30 metres.
Nice
bowl
crowd
that's
in here
shaped.
this afternoon. All enjoyed their lunch here at Potter's Resort. Coming to watch some good bowls.
Jack length, 28 metres. 28.
Start, mate. What up?
Important end here for the Chesney Dawes partnership. Really want to get on this scorecard. Don't want Paxton and Ross to run away with this this game.
Left in the touch, mate.
Faith, alright, Jim?
Sorry.
Yeah, a couple of bowls short, that's all. Right.
Just over the arm, mate. You're good. Yes, mate. Great shot.
First and second tries.
Yeah, draw it down there, yeah.
See that bowl again of Jonathan Ross's. Perfect weight. It'll swing all the way back to centre. Mark Dawes playing it down the forehand. Good hand this.
Move.
Just
Inward.
underneath his own. It's close. It's just sliding past.
Right. One red.
Gently now. Gently to bend. Okay, well done. That's two.
Very confident player, Jamie Chesney. He's got chances down this forehand. Saying that, I think most of the top 16 confident enough to bank themselves to change something.
Right.
Either you're throwing to fill the gap or nudge the jack, or else you're looking something. Don't really know. I'll get another one in. Just in case.
Confident call there by his lead. Just draws another one in.
We're just worried about if Jamie gets the bowl through, but sorry, the jack through. There's not a lot there for.
It's fairly
Jamie to
split.
play with.
Red's got back position as well.
Okay, fine.
That's certainly altered the head.
Probably only one down now, mate. Very similar to Rob's. Any drag through there is 2 or 3.
That means that Jamie can reach. Here we see Rob Paxton's bowl. Gets a piece of the jack, but just changes the head.
Oh, mate.
Looks like the green in the very middle of the rink is the second shot at the moment. Jamie not reaching there. It's not helped his next shot.
Probably picked out the line as well.
Yes,
all.
we have. One red.
Obviously, Rob will be worried about covering the potential for dropping a 2 or a 3. But he might also want to try and draw another in, but I think Johnny's favouring the bowl on Rob's forehand. The left of the screen as we're looking at it. Come round the back. Yeah, Rob's coming on his forehand.
Pushed him up. Pushed him up.
That was all.
Quite pushed him.
Just lacking that touch of pace.
Quite
Okay.
making it.
What a great effort.
Don't know what he was trying to do there. Hasn't made any difference.
No, I think he was perhaps trying to block that gap. There is a gap down the centre there.
Jamie probably coming with a bit more weight this time. No, it's just an arriving shot. It's not
Steady
a good
as
track.
Steady.
It's overweight.
not
It
sure.
will hang off a bolt. Yeah,
Effort, mate.
great effort.
One shot, Paxton and Ross. Set score 7-0 after 4 rings.
It's quite interesting this, because there's not been a lot between these two pairs, but it's been the red pairing of Paxton and Ross that have just held on to the shots at the end of each end. 7-0 is their reward at the moment after 4 ends.
Jack length 28 metres, 28 and a half.
Interesting question just come through on the Facebook live streaming about how do the players determine
Last
their
little bit.
partners. Starting at world number 1, he gets to choose who they want to play with as their pairs partners from somebody in the top 16, and it works down. So all the top 16 are paired together, but it starts with the world number 1 has the first shout on that one.
It works. 2 bowls.
So the top 16 are very restricted to some extent. They have to play with somebody within the top 16.
Well played.
So, as I
Really
mentioned
good.
before, the last time Rob Paxton
Really
won
good.
this event, he won it with Simon Skelton. He was allowed to defend his title playing with Simon, even though Simon had dropped out of the top 16 at that point. But then the following year, he had to play with somebody out of the inside the top 16. So you're allowed to defend your title, but apart from that, must play with the top 16 player.
It's not a bad selection pool, though, is it? Pick one
No.
from the top 16. It's not bad.
That's good.
And that was a question that came in from our viewers. I hope we've answered that one for you.
It should me.
And of course, the other
Pretty
pairings
good.
that you see early on in the tournament are qualifiers. Pairs qualifiers all over the world play down to take their place in the draw. I do think it's very good that World Bowls Tour now have the ruling in where you have the right to defend your title.
Yeah, 'cause qualifiers could come in and win it.
Yeah, a couple of years back, qualifiers, Colin Walker and Ronnie Duncan got to the final, just got beat by Darren Burnett and Stuart Anderson. We have had qualifiers win the pairs in the past. I remember the year that Jeremy Henry and Ian McClure won it as qualifiers. Had to have a delve into my memory
Best
banks
back.
then, Dan.
Extensive memory bank.
Of course, last year we had qualifiers got all the way to the final. Daniel Salmon and
I'm
Damien
not sure he
Doubler
can, but he does get a piece
again
of the
just
white
narrowly
sort
got
of there. You're maybe
defeated
three
by
down.
Les Gillett
Just
and
cover him down.
Jason Greenslade. So yeah, it's
I think
all
so.
to play for. Enter the PBAs. Playing the pairs, you've got a chance.
Yeah, you look fine. I think so. Gently. Gently. That'll do. Well done.
Yeah, Rob and Johnny are really controlling this game at the moment.
Either go straight through it and open it up, or you've just
Giving
fancied
Mark
the draw.
and Jamie much to play with.
Fair, isn't it? Don't mind you going for opening it at this stage anyway, to be fair.
Ask Mark and Jamie to come down and open up a little bit. Give himself a chance with the last bowl.
Surprises me, he's
Jamie's
chosen the
just
draw.
drawing. He's obviously confident.
Effort, mate.
Got to be perfect weight here, Jamie.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
make it
Lovely
all the way
track.
back. Great effort here.
Up.
Top 16. He was very humbled by that. Nice little trophy for the mantelpiece as well.
Well, Rob.
Climb up through it, mate.
This is on a fair decent track as well. What's the pace like?
Big effort. Good try.
Not quite reaching. Just had a question on the stream about how heavy are the bowls. It looks as though they've got an offset weight. They're not offset at all. They're just shaped. They're not completely spherical. They're spherical in one dimension, but not the other. So they will bend towards the inside where the centre of gravity
again, mate.
leans over the sole of the bowl. So there's no weight applied
Right
in the
up
bowl,
again.
it's just a shape.
Close again here, Jamie.
Up, 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 up. I'll play, mate.
Oh, what a
I'll
great
play.
bowl.
On the ball.
2 shots, Chesney indoors.
Yes,
Set
I think a
score,
little bit of
7-2
discussion
on
now
Friday.
about possibly changing the length. Got to change something. They need to score 5 shots in 2 ends to tie this set. There's different weights of bowls though, isn't there, Dan? You know, there's right from a 00 up to 5s and 6s can be played with.
Yeah, it's more to do with the size as well, but with size obviously comes weight, the mass of the actual object itself. So yeah, the 00s are quite small, almost jack-like in size. Obviously going to be lighter than the 3s, 4s and 5s that players are playing with here.
Crown green, the bowl is determined by its weight. We play with anything from £2 6 ounce up to £3. It's roughly the weight of a size 2 indoors.
Oh, come on, what's that in metric? That stumped her.
Definitely. That's like the question we sometimes get, Dan, about why do we put metre spots down on the rink, but
I know.
we give information in yards.
Yeah, it's a thing from the past, isn't it? We've
Just
come into the
slipping it,
21st century with all our measurements around the green, but when we're talking to players about how short they are, how far through they are, it's all feet and inches in the northern hemisphere.
Yes, I
Southern
remember
hemisphere.
here last year, Ellen Ryan,
Run.
who's again competing here. She's going to defend her title in the under 25s, but is also competing in the ladies match play singles and the mixed pairs. She likes information in metres
Meters, yeah.
and centimetres.
and
I wonder if anybody's informed Rob Paxton, who's her pairs partner for Friday.
Last bowl's target,
Yes, I
really,
was
mate.
given
Get
20
inside that,
minutes
you're close to
notice of
winning it anyway.
that fact last year when I marked her first game. So I was doing all my little conversions and then found out afterwards that she actually doesn't mind just being shown how far her bowl is, short or long or whatever,
Run.
with arm indications. But it was good practice.
It's quite an interesting one there, because you're one of the officials that's going to the Commonwealth Games in March over on the Gold Coast. You might actually encounter that over there, Dan.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Sure we will. I'm looking forward to that little trip.
One green.
Be memorising all the distances on a long flight over. Inches, 30 centimetres. Start with that one.
Don't start
Ball back.
testing us over
Keep
here,
it moving.
please. That would totally confuse me.
Well played, mate. It's good. Well done.
Nice little wiggle there.
I think you've got to play through it.
Yeah, positive down to the red bowl. I think
Probably the
John's
back.
right
You
here.
have a chance of the split to get the jack, but that removes 2 greens.
Not far away. On
Needs the
front
red
of
bowl,
something.
centre screen.
Well done.
Yeah,
Get to them.
got it perfect.
Exactly what Johnny wanted
Similar
him
ball,
to do.
mate. Just drag the jack. That brings the back one in.
Watch on replay. Gets it perfectly. Green just passing the jack.
Looks like we've got some viewers out in Australia listening in now. Thank you for joining us. Do hope you're enjoying this streaming of this Just World Indoor Bowls
Last ball's the
Championships.
shot.
Just past.
It's that pass, so you can either draw to it or lift it once. You got the running.
It's down a good track.
You got the running, Rob.
All on his pace.
Hurry.
Well, I
John
don't think.
urging it on. If it sits that down,
Yeah.
might just
This is
fail
interesting
short.
here because
Yes,
Jamie's got
mate,
a
draw
shot here.
on if you happen to touch the
5
ball,
down,
mate.
holding 1. If you can pull that jack back 2 or 3 feet, you can pick up a 4. That makes a very interesting last end.
He's got to play for it as well, Dan. You
Yeah.
don't get that many opportunities to get the count,
That's absolutely right.
and he needs this.
Although Rob still does have a bowl to come to try and rescue it. But if Jamie can put the pressure on,
I think Jamie thinks he's too quick.
He's not far off, you know.
Very close, very close.
He's got the jack.
But just got it the wrong way.
He's given the shot away. I think he might have done.
It's 3.
Any shot away and the set's gone.
Three, yeah.
3 shots, first set, Paxton and Ross.
Yep, there we go. They'll be disappointed with that, but they've got another set. Regroup, start again.
Yes, the partnership of Jamie Chesney and Mark Dawes only counted at one end in that first set. Paxton and Ross totally dominated the first set, and that 3, it was unfortunate though, Dan, but Jamie had to play for it. It was an opportunity.
Yep.
He touched the jack, it just went the wrong way.
Yeah, I think any player would have played exactly the same shot.
That's when scores can look a little bit misleading, because he dropped a 3, but he was playing to get a 3.
How different it could
Jack
have been if
length,
the jack had
25
gone
and a
straight
half
back.
metres.
We might still be in the first set.
South Carolina tuning in as well.
It's good
And
to have
I'm
all these
sure we'll
viewers around
also
the world.
have players in Ilminster. Let's see if I can get this right without looking at my sheet. Ilminster, Exonia, Paisley and Blackpool Newton Hall. I saved the easiest one for me to remember till last.
The first one wasn't quite right, it was Ilminster.
Sorry,
Well played, mate.
mispronunciation. Yes, and my producer's just reminded me it is his hometown, so I should try and get that right, shouldn't I? Ilminster.
One day we'll get him to play bowls.
Oh, he did have a go in Scotland when we have a night where the sponsors and the BBC have a go. He has taken to the blue portable rink.
So he watches enough of it during the day. He should have picked up lots of tips.
Well, interestingly enough,
Work.
our head official asked a question earlier when he was stood in the commentary booth here that he said was one of the toughest questions you ever get asked as umpires, and our producer got it right first time.
Really?
Honestly, really.
What was the question?
And I've just been told that I have to ask you it to see if you can get it down.
Very good bowl. Well played.
I've just got to remember how it's worded first.
Take your time.
I'll be tempted to ride through the backhand now. Decent pace.
Yeah, Rob just asking for this to be opened up.
John is in the area, but he's a little bit tight.
Up.
Might get a result of his front
And up.
bowl. Oh, that's very,
Very
unfortunate.
unlucky.
Very unfortunate. That's bowls for you.
Yeah, anything in that area. I think Alan's just checking whether this bowl's in the rink. No, it's not. It's the red bowl.
So yeah, get sit in my back one there, couldn't it?
I've remembered the wording down as well,
Oh,
so I'll
no.
save it until the jack's sent out at
Oh,
the
good.
next end.
Perhaps you'll forget by then.
That's possible.
One of Rob's home bowlers from Crediton is watching.
Oh, bend quick then. Bend away. It's good, mate. It's alright.
Good to see all these bowlers still play at their home clubs, giving great support. Good ambassadors for the sport and their home clubs.
Now, Rob.
Oh, he looks
Oh,
tight,
he's
doesn't
just
he?
going under. Went with a lot more weight to try and hold the
I mean-
line there. Still went.
A lot of the bowls could go if... Alright then, play a foot further. Foot further, come on.
So Jamie wants to try and change the head a little bit, tickle the jack further into their bowls. Sure.
Sorry, mate. Alright, mate.
He's apologising for this. I think it's pulling up short.
Is he putting one in the...
I think he was trying to
the
put
eye?
a blocker in, yeah.
Foot too narrow. will come again. Oh, is he tight the other way now?
Doesn't like that either. Got one away. The blocker kind of worked but didn't.
I've got that respot now.
Plenty of support for Mark Dawes as well from his home club up in, where's he play again?
Blackpool
Blackpool Newton
Hall.
Hall.
Dead draw
Your
right.
home club, Janice.
It is indeed. The home of the Court Funeral Care International Open as well in March.
Yes, I've missed going there. I haven't been there for a couple of years now, but I should be there in March myself.
Down! Get down!
Yes,
Get
there's
down!
a few people at the club, one in particular, that was very pleased to hear that phone. My phone will bleep in a minute when the assistant manager hears me say that.
Hello, Sue.
Well, it's still a target here for Rob. I think all four would go if he got the split on the middle of the two bowls. Here we go.
He's in the area this time.
Jack.
It's Jack.
That'll do. Extra a couple.
Jack's going to go on the respot, I think.
Great strike.
Or leave, wherever it goes.
Scores a couple there, Red, I think.
All that hard work that Mark and Jamie put in.
2 shots, Paxton and Ross.
Always a chance, though.
Right, I can't put this off any longer. I'll have to ask you this question. When's
Oh,
the
no.
only time in play a bowl is unbeatable?
When it's in the ditch, right next to the jack, as a live bowl with no other live bowls on the green.
You've obviously been asked that one before. Yes, you are correct. and
Thank you,
like I say,
producer.
our producer was bang on the money when he was asked that question earlier. Got it straight away.
I'm impressed. Very impressed.
Jack length, 28
He says
metres.
he's been involved with bowls long enough now to know that. It seems like years. Been locked away in these boxes with our producer.
I think his auntie Angie is one of our colleagues going with us to Brisbane.
Sell the bummer. Really good one. Really good.
Yes, he's just confirmed that one in my ear as well. Well, Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney be disappointed there. They were holding few shots just to see them disappear in one bowl. A few people asking about places to play bowls, Dan. I think if you just go on Google, and I know there are other search engines available,
Yeah,
but
go on your favoured search engine and search for indoor bowls or outdoor bowls, lawn bowls, those sorts of things. I know there's a bowlsusa.us website. Similar ones in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, Israel.
Hey, Mark.
oh, that's a good bowl from Mark Dawes.
Continental Europe,
Setting up the head well there.
Germany, the Netherlands,
It's played all over the world.
India. Have I missed any?
Not
Oh,
too quick.
probably lots. Have we done Malaysia, Hong
Oh,
Kong?
No, those as well.
Okay, sir.
Sorry. Yep.
England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, and of course the Channel Islands.
Indeed. And, lovely lady from the Channel Islands coming over to play you in the ladies' match play.
Yes, my very good friend Alison Marion MBE.
One red.
We've played together many times in pairs. Faced her a couple of times in singles as well, so we were both delighted to qualify, but we wish we'd not been playing each other first game. Alison qualified at the Scottish International Open back in Perth. Fell at the hands of Nick
Yeah,
Brett.
right.
He has to arrive in a minute.
That's all. You set that green. Just go to the yard.
If you can't find a local club, there's always the World Bowls
Effort, Jamie.
organisation. Get in contact with them. I'm sure they'll be quite happy to
Down,
try
yeah.
and help you
Well
out.
played. Well played, Jamie. Great shot.
Still draw it there.
See that bowl again. Great bowl from Jamie here. Just rest the red bowl.
Different line.
Just an adjustment on weight from Rob here. Needs to rest the green bowl to the right of your screen.
Just show it.
Just overplayed it again.
Same's good, mate. If you sit your own down, it probably brings the winger in anyway. Go into that one. If you fall on it, you're good.
Just had a question in about the distances of the bowl of the jack when it's cast. I'll talk that through in a moment, Janice, when we get to the next end.
Yeah, it's quite a good question though. It's nice to hear these questions coming in. Now's your opportunity. When we have a match official with us to ask any rulings. I believe for the next game I have Darren Burnett joining me in commentary, so any questions you want to put to a player, we've got Darren in next. And while we're on this streaming, players and people at home, newsters to the game, have the opportunity to ask questions.
Of course, Darren going with
Easy now.
Scotland to the Commonwealth Games as part of their
Easy.
very, very strong team.
Same again, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
defending his
tell me
singles title out there.
Yeah.
Got through this morning in the open singles in a great battle with the Northern Ireland qualifier Graham McKee.
It was a great game out there. Really, really was a good game. Played in great spirit by both players. And, Graham had a great chance in the first set to pinch it on the last end. And I was talking to him just before coming into commentary that had he put an extra couple of feet on, he would have won the first set, and he wouldn't have worried about that bowl for the next 2 or 3 ends. He couldn't get out of his head.
Happy with that?
No, I think we mentioned in commentary that
No, I can get this.
plays on your mind, even if it had been ditch weight with the bowl, to pull up short. You always regret chances like that.
Jamie looking to push their own bowl onto the
Alright.
red.
Good effort.
There was a chance for a count
There's a
there.
good chance, yeah.
One shot, Chesney indoors.
There's the danger of it going slightly wrong, but I felt it's worthwhile. That
Set
was a
score
long
2-1
shot.
after 2 ends.
Okay, so next end. Player wins the team that wins the previous end has the choice of where they place the mat. Anywhere from that tee,
Happy the same
which
again,
is
mate.
3 metres from the back ditch. It's now cast, has to go at least 23 metres from where it starts, the front of the mat, and a maximum on this green, this indoor rink of 29.5 metres.
Jack length, 27 metres.
And then we have the dots. So the furthest dot up the screen is where minimum distance it must pass if the mat was right back on the tee. And the maximum distance is the tee that you can see at the bottom of the screen. So depending on where the mat is placed, the jack must go at least 23 with a maximum of 29.5 minus where the mat is on the green, blah, 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 blah. A lot of the time the players do play onto the tee, which is why a lot of people are saying, why is it always placed back on the tee? But it's just put into the centre of the green, but the distance is determined by the player.
Couple of it.
And having the spots on the rink as we do here, and a lot of clubs have adopted that now, does speed up the game for straightening the jack. Jack is straightened to the centre of the rink, and it does make it a lot easier for the marker and quicker for the players.
And of course it makes it easier for the umpire who's counting how far it's been delivered.
That gentleman's just come back on and thanked you, Dan, for that information.
Oh, good. Hope it made sense.
And Johnny Ross just under there.
Down.
Mark coming on to a very good game here.
Very
There's
good.
a lot of skipping at home and in nationals, but his preferred position is leading. Anything in the area here, Jonathan opens up the
He's
end.
close.
Tap now.
It's just going to bend away, but
Point shot.
oh. Jack bounding out sideways. Now we do have little markers on the rink. That's in play. There's a little chalk mark you can just see on the green there.
Cheers,
That's Jack is still in play at the moment. Had it just gone outside that mark, it would have been put onto the roo spot.
Leave them two to that.
Notice the marker very quick there to remove any debris and take the mat, etc., over to the other side of the rink. It doesn't disturb the players. All done very efficiently.
So that's a 3-bowl shootout between Jamie and Rob. So you can get as close as they can to the edge of the
As
ring.
far as you can, now, mate. As far as you can.
This looks an excellent line.
Starter, up played.
Great start. Considering the bowlers don't play to that area at all in practice, to be able to adjust their line. Length's not a problem, but their line.
Let me know.
It's a great
pretty
line
good too.
again
Hey, Rob.
from Rob Paxton. What's the pace like of this?
There's a good view of the actual spot.
Great
on the
ball.
side.
Oh, what a goal that is. Just an adjustment from Jamie here. Rest on the red bowl.
2 feet more.
As he reached.
Miss your own stop then. Oh,
Now that might be out, I don't know. As long as part of it is touching, skimming the line, Alan will go up the green. There's another mark just by his foot. He's looking down the line. We can't see from our camera position here. But Alan asking umpire
looks in from here, Jamie.
Yeah, me
Tony.
too.
to check with the scope from the other end. And get a gun sight out. Players having a good look. Umpire will go and make a decision.
I think it's off.
His decision is final.
Bit of a banter there between the players. I know Trenton Healy was in commentary with me the other day when the gun sight was used, and he was fascinated by that.
And Rob agreed. So
Oh, there you go. Just, yeah, we carry on.
Tony just checking with Alan where the gun sight is. It was Tony that had to operate it the other day, Dan. Oh, we're not going for gun sight.
Deemed to be out. Is the gun sight?
Gun sight's being fetched.
Yeah.
Oh, there
They
you
found
go.
it. Is it down? There we go. Wrong end. Little bit light relief.
Yeah, just exactly.
So it was the other day Tony had to use the gun sight. It was good that you're in commentary with me to just explain this. It makes it a little bit quicker. Sometimes at home clubs they'll string a line from that centre black line on the yellow marker, but with the gun sight you can just set it and look through it, Dan. It's a great piece of equipment, really.
Yeah. There's crosshairs on there, and it will centre the crosshairs on the line at the end. Look at the bowl. And by eye he said it out, and by gun sight it's out. So
Oh
there we
well,
go.
he'll be happy with that. So
He
at
will.
least his eyes match the gun sight. Oh, we can rib him about that later, though,
Yep.
Dan, can't we? We have a good bit of banter between the team here at the WBT, which is great. Fantastic to all get on so well, that work together here. Even if Alan Thornhill tries to come up with tricky questions for you, Dan, to try and fox you. Needless to say, that came from him, that question, as you can imagine.
Yep. He always likes to ask people to send in questions and then sends them all my way.
Good effort. Balls, you have
When
a
he
chance.
gets a tricky measure on the green, if he's the marker and I'm the umpire, he'll say, come and wedge these for me.
Is that what you call passing the buck?
Passing the buck, yeah, or passing the wedges. Just a quick question on the stream about whether the bowl is live or dead on the boundary line. Any part of the bowl must be touching the boundary line, breaking the boundary line. Doesn't have to be wholly in, it has to be partially in.
Run, run, run. Great effort, mate. Great effort.
Jamie.
I think he was good weight if he had missed his own bowl.
Well, looks like
Oh dear.
Rob's still holding one.
Turn it around the corner off the back.
Well, burn it.
Of course, if the jack
Never mind,
goes off
that's one
here,
in the audience.
it will then go on to the respot.
Yeah, Jonathan Ross has just called that he could burn the jack
Yeah.
if he wanted.
If it went on the
One red.
respot, I'm not sure who's holding shot then, because the two reds still might come into play.
Just looking to draw past the two green bowls. Rob
Different
Paxton.
line.
Needs to be wide enough not to hit into the front of the greens.
Oh, he's on a very good track
What do you
here,
like,
Dan.
Rob? Straight for him.
All on pace, urging it on. Very close
Close.
here. What a
Lovely.
cracking bowl,
Well
Rob
done.
Paxton.
There we go, 2 shots.
2 shots, Paxton and Ross. Set score 4-1 after 3 ends.
Answer to the question that's just come through about points. If we play 7 end sets, it's possible to score 6 at every end because there's 6 bowls on each side. So ultimate score is a 6.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Don't get many of them, but we've had a couple so far this week. It's the one with the most shots on the scoreboard after 7 ends. Of course, like in the previous set, Dan, if
Yeah, if it becomes impossible for a team to get a result, either a draw or a win in a set, then we will finish the set early. We won't play all the ends required. However, we do that in the preliminary rounds, in the singles and the pairs, because we have a round robin basis going on there. Shot difference does count sometimes, but not in these games where it's the winner goes through.
winner takes all type feature here, all on a knockout basis.
Yes, Roscoe. And again. Really good here, mate. Run home.
Swing.
Run.
All on your pace, Mark. Great bowl.
It's a length ball, mate.
They've
Just
played
falls
some
all
very
down.
good bowls, but Rob Paxton certainly turned the screw at a couple of ends by changing things.
mate. Thank
Jonathan Ross has said he's too heavy, he thinks. I think he's correct.
Yeah, the players know very quickly if their bowl is too short, too
Again.
long. Just a general feel. Some people might think think it's an easy sport throwing round objects up a green. But you know, we're
Grab
talking
it. There.
23 to 29.5 metres
Draw it in
with
the
a
four
ball
as
that's
well.
shaped to curve.
One green.
Getting to the last is good as
Yeah.
well.
It's not easy to get
Go ahead.
close to that jack. At least I don't find it easy.
It's not easy. It's a sport for all though. Any age,
Yeah.
any ability can play in bowls.
Fully inclusive.
Both Dan and I have been involved in the Special Olympics, which is for people with learning
What about the weight?
disabilities, and it truly is a sport that anybody can play,
Gently.
which is great
Gently her up.
to be able to advertise
Gently
us
now.
truly as a sport for all.
Well, it's a good side of the head. Just go on 2 feet.
All the way back now, mate. All the way back. And up over the seam.
Only one down. Probably the back.
I know within the
Trying to
PBO
set
we've
everything
certainly
there.
got people that have played in wheelchairs and blind and people with physical as well as mental disabilities.
Gently.
Yeah, and don't
Gently,
forget,
Rob.
a couple of years ago, Simon Skelton injured a leg.
So,
Whilst he was
show
playing
it.
the singles. Well, not
Very
whilst
similar,
he was
mate.
playing, but
Just a ball
during
tight,
the
you can really
championship,
sit that one away.
he had to
That
play
brings them all
2
in.
games with the assistance of a wheelchair.
Yeah,
Actually on the portable.
we did have a demonstration of wheelchair players here a number of years ago.
So the rules allow for people to play in wheelchairs and with sticks to lean on and that sort of stuff.
Well, Jamie, little edge off that, little wiggle. Didn't just do it.
I need another one. Yeah.
Yes, Chris Gale, who's
Just
playing
the
in the
way-
singles
yeah,
tomorrow
from the
morning
other
down
side.
in
Yeah.
Scotland,
Just losing that.
had
Yeah.
to use the
Come on.
aid of a stick to play as he's broken his leg. But, I've seen him practicing here a couple of times before he plays tomorrow, and he's not using a stick now, which is good to see.
Yeah, as has Danny Dennison, since he's come back from a bad car accident a couple of years ago. He plays with a stick now for extra support. Unfortunately, can't be with us this year in this tournament, despite winning the tour card, giving him entry into all 3
Hurry in
events
that
this
line.
year.
Of course, famously, Kelvin Kirko played
Hurry
with
on
a
that line.
stick, so
Yes.
very successfully
Okay.
too.
Add a
That
couple.
red bowl of
Yes, mate.
Rob and Johnny's is
you're rolling
just
just
on the
inside it.
seam, so it's being lifted up, but because the seam is just underneath it, it's just rocking back to where it originally came from. Not a problem with the carpet, it's just where the carpets are joined together.
I'll get that. All right.
He's calling it to get back. Knows he's overplayed it.
One shot, Chesney indoors.
Set score 4-2 after 4 rings.
A bit of a discussion
Modern
again
game
on
Yeah.
length to play. To go shorter. That back short jack.
Find out in a minute. Yeah, shorter than we've seen so far. It's around the 25, 26 metre mark.
Jack length 25.5 metres.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Right down. Very good, well done.
On the road. Sorry, mate.
We've been playing longer lengths up to now, 28, 29 metres. See how good they are playing the shorter length.
Oh, play,
Definitely
buddy.
different lines in
Sit.
to the shorter length jacks. Pace can be a little bit deceiving as well down on these shorter length jacks.
Ah, just through it.
Right. Step.
Track again, mate. Whip in a touch. Whip and turn. Whip and turn. Really good.
This is to drop a yard or so on his pace. Not disliking it.
Get off the line.
Will swoop if it's a perfect weight, it'll make it all the way back in.
Grab it.
That's 15 off, you're really good. Stay on the height. Stay on the line. Stay. And stay.
Players there just asking Alan to check who's holding shot. And they can do that with the marker. They can ask his opinion, which is just an opinion.
Up now. Up. All right.
It's close. I don't favour it, but
Just a little bit of a disturbance in the crowd. Rob Paxton quite rightly just stepping back while this lady takes her seat.
gently now. Gently, Rob. Gently now. Wee chance here. Yeah, that's the winner.
Well, it's getting to the stage now where Chesney
one
and
to measure
Dawes have
down.
really got
That's
to
the
start
shot,
making the
last ball.
mark on this game. So otherwise ends will start slipping away.
No. Go on.
All right.
And again.
Jerry missed the line there completely. Knew immediately within a few yards of sending it.
Similar. Need the wee spin off. Okay. Still on the head.
There's a few players up in the players' lounge watching intently. The game going on,
Nope.
unfolding there. Yeah. Simon Skelton in the middle of the screen there was the person that won the pairs with Rob Paxton. Andy Thompson stood at the back there. He's about to go out and perform in the next game, which is Andy Thompson, MBE, and Mark Royal versus world number 1 Greg Harlow and Nick Brett. So stay with us if you can today. Exciting game ahead.
Right out the gym.
A couple of other players
Oh,
in there.
out,
Trenton
get up.
Healy from
Get up.
Australia.
Up, 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 up. Well
And
played, mate.
Michelle
Nice
from
shot.
USA. And Jeremy Key, who played this morning.
One
Dead
grade.
draw, or else trying to lift the ball onto it. It's easier.
Good ball there from Jamie. Keeps them in the game.
Needs to really count at this end.
Yeah. 2 more ends to play.
Play that way.
Rob's got a chance though, just reach into this.
Need to let it come tight and push the green one in
Play
there.
on the forehand.
They can take that to draw in, jam in.
Yeah, I think John is asking him to look at the forehand draw. Lift up that
more weight to get loose.
I think what Johnny's asking Rob to play is anything into this sort of area gives a chance. Even the green ball would possibly plant the green ball out the head.
Yeah. If he does get underneath his first red bowl, he can even take out the green completely.
Got back to that.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 chances down there. It's a tough shot to play though, Dan, because it's just playing that overweighted shot.
It's the one shot the players don't like to play because they know it's really, really tough out there. Like that yard and a half on, such a difficult shot to play. Most club players will say they always have a tough green they don't want to play on because it's so difficult. Same with these shots that the players like to make. So Rob's coming on the backhand.
Yeah,
that's a safer
that's
shot.
about right.
Keep holding.
Looking to just rest his own bowl then. Didn't want to take the risk.
He's not reaching.
Okay, now.
One shot, Chesney indoors.
Set score 4-3 after 5 ends.
Thought he might have taken that chance there, but obviously decided it wasn't worth the risk. Got to look at these shots and decide if there's a risk element.
There wasn't too much risk there because they had 4 or 5 seconds there. Only if the jack went back a little bit were they in trouble, but there's obviously a lot at stake out there anyway, so place in the
Jack
finals up
length
for grabs. The winner.
25.5 metres.
And that's
going
next
for a-
Monday at 2 o'clock. Dan, is the final of the open pairs.
That's right, yep. I should be out there marking it.
It's the first final featured in finals week here at the World Indoor Bowls Championships.
Couple of feet.
I think I've got this right. Francis will do the mixed pairs. Alan will do the ladies final. And Mike Davies will do the open singles final.
Let go, mate. Let go, Roscoe. Let go. Let go, mate.
Should our own family and friends want to tune in.
Who's doing the junior final then?
I think I've got that one as well, actually. Is that on
I
Saturday
thought
night?
I thought I was actually putting you on the spot there, Dan, with this
I think I
question
am,
of
actually.
rosters.
Good
Yeah,
air.
it's a Saturday night, isn't it? Before.
Right up.
Yeah, I've got that one.
Right up. Right up. Well done. Well done.
Dropping your own bowl or turn him over. Drop off your own, you don't want to be close.
A plethora of finals take place next week here on the portable rink.
Yep, not every day, but certainly Monday, Tuesday,
What's an offer, mate?
Thursday,
Saturday
evening,
and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, yeah, with various
Good.
Yeah. Beat the
later
red ball.
rounds, quarterfinals, semi-finals mixed in.
All available to you on our live streaming. On Facebook Live or World Bowls Tour YouTube. Stay with us if you can.
Yeah, the whole feast of bowls to come. Another 13 days to play yet.
Well, that's the perfect bowl, mate. Turn it around the corner.
Into
That's
day
about
5
4
so
inches.
far, and there's been some great bowls.
So you really hear the pairing of Chesney and Dawes need to pick up a shot or shots here
Roscoe.
to make it a very interesting last
Roscoe.
end.
What a shot,
Johnny
son.
Close
What a
here,
shot,
Jonathan
Johnny.
Ross. Wow, what a bowl.
There was a question earlier about why do we spray
2 red.
whatever that spray is onto bowl sometimes. It's a liquid chalk, and if a bowl in its original course touches the jack, it's deemed to be live. So we mark it with chalk, and if that bowl goes in the ditch, it remains live for the rest of that end. Jimmy coming down with a bit of pace. He's close if he doesn't get the front bowl.
Run.
Oh,
Right, mate,
yeah,
better.
got a result. Thought it was
Result.
just going to get wrecked on the short bowl. The
Red's
red
gone
balls
with it.
come with it.
It's about a bull short with jack high. On either hand.
Disappointing
You
for
see that
Jamie,
again.
Jack off
He's
the
Gets a
opened it up.
result. Does open it
Almost 4
a
feet.
bit, but the red ball just kept with it. Almost like it had a bit of string attached.
Rob, big swing. Big swing. Come on,
Oh,
Rob.
good here from
Big
Mark.
swing.
Sorry, from Rob Paxton.
Well played.
That's a shot. Probably a little
This
bit
is
easier
putting-
inside there.
Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney under all sorts of pressure. Only one behind at the moment, but we've only got this end and one other to complete.
It's on a fairly good track as well.
Effort, Jamie.
Needs a connection.
Effort,
Some sort of connection.
There's a phrase in this sport, holes for bowls. There's a good example of
Yeah,
it.
that was
Just
a
slipping
definite
me
hole
out.
for a bowl.
Any
No.
connection there with the red?
Yeah. I was thinking of maybe in his way, but then he might go for the
Redirect it
white.
onto the
So
jack. Who knows what would have happened?
I think Rob's just looking to put a pound of weight on his last bowl, pass his own. Just behind.
just get by.
Anything
beat
just
it.
behind's good, yeah. His
Exactly
partner
what
will be
he
happy
wanted.
with
Rob's
that.
Done.
Delivered.
Probably got a shot as well. Pretty close anyway.
3 red.
3 red.
So if nothing changes, then Rob and Johnny will take a 4-shot lead into the final end. Mark and Jamie need to score 5 to force a tie-break. And that's a tough ask for anybody. There's no natural trail now for the jack to his own green bowl at the back and stay with it.
Got to get rid of something to give himself a chance at the last end. Not easy.
Yeah, if they're 2 down, they've still got to score 3. But Rob's still got a bowl to come.
And track looks good again, Jamie.
It's similar to his last bowl, isn't it?
Certainly urging it up.
I think
Mark's
the
asking it
weight's
to
better.
stop.
The weight's much better. What a bowl
And
from
up,
Jamie.
and up. What a
What a
shot!
Well played.
Mark
Well
loving that.
played.
Perhaps that's why he's the Players' Play of the Year.
1 green.
Could be. There he's Mark Dawes' Player of the Year with that shot. Mark got heart on the sleeve job. Went up to congratulate Jamie. Fantastic bowl. They needed that as well, Dan. Under so much pressure, that bowl was played.
Yep, gives them a chance now. I don't know whether Rob will be playing through it or just trying to draw himself. He's playing with a bit of pace.
Possible
Not
to flick
excessive.
the bowl out. He's
This is
close.
close.
He's very close.
He's got it. However,
Oh,
he's taken his
now,
own back bowl out. Where is the
which
jack?
wasn't a toucher.
No.
Want to say 1 or 2, maybe just gives you the
2
time.
shots, Chesney and Dawes.
So close to a great result there. So, exciting final end.
6 scored, 4-5 after
Yeah,
16.
that was built up by that shot of Jamie Chesney's to get shot, put Rob in a position where he had to play something. He almost got it perfect. It looked perfect halfway down, and just flicked their own bowls out and dropped to 2. So Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney lead by 1 shot going into this last end of the second set. They've got to win this set as Rob Paxton and John Ross won the first set 10-2.
Now, effectively,
Jack
whoever
length,
wins this
28
set
metres.
either wins the match or forces a tiebreak. There's only 1 shot in it. So, who's your money on, Janice?
We're not allowed to bet though, Dan. We
Playing for a
sign,
Malteser.
we sign a contract that
No,
says we
that-
don't. I do think if this goes into a tie-break, it can become anybody's game. Mark and Jamie are very flamboyant players, but as is Rob Paxton.
Very
John's
high,
very steady.
And again.
I'm going to sit on the fence, I think.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And of course, when we go into the tiebreak, it's a completely different game. Tactics change. It's only the end that counts, not the shots.
think Rob Paxton's come up with some outstanding bowls throughout the entirety of the game, though.
Yeah, he was very unfortunate that last
Well
bowl
done,
flying
well
at that last end.
I think if we find ourselves in a tie break, Rob will feel a little bit robbed, but
I'm happy if you want to.
boys in green have certainly hung
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
Rob's been around a long time. He knows the score. It's easy to win or lose the first set badly, pick up the second set. And generally, the people that win the second set are in the, the ascendancy.
Hold.
Oh, he's
Good.
got
Yeah,
the connection,
changed
so
it. That's all Rob could ask for there, really. Great ball from John Ross.
So that bowl touched the jack on its way through. It's gone into the ditch, but because it touched the jack, it's still live. So that'll be marked on the back of the rink with an indicator to say where it is. So it could still come into play. So jack goes on the respot. We now turn our attention to our right.
Oh, what's your pace like, Mark?
Oh,
The line
it's
looks
not
very
bad.
good.
It's pretty good.
He's urging it on. Not a bad starter for the team in green.
14 gap.
Yeah, considering he was bowling to a jack that was 2 metres or so further back at the green, it's good adjustment. Don't know whether that's going to stop in time. Yeah, Rob thought it was flying a little bit.
One green.
Quite interesting here. Both of these players skip for the country. Both representing England at the Commonwealth Games in March. Rob Paxton needs to score just one shot at this end to take this game. Jamie holds after this end. And these 3 bowls he's playing now, we're going to a tie break.
Sorry. Run them. Run them. Run, 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 run.
I don't think Jamie wanted to play that far through.
No, he needed another one. A better bowl really than Mark's played, just to tighten everything up.
Good bowl here from Rob.
This might
Again, is it
just
gonna
run
stop?
through.
Is it going to stop? I don't know.
Could be. Jamie quick on the mat. Don't give me any information. I'm quite happy to play this bowl, he says.
Ease.
It's hard to tell between those two.
Ease, mate.
Jamie's just
Good
overplayed it again. Very little adjustment here for Rob.
Johnny's having a look now.
Yep.
I think he just said it's against.
Thinks it's just against, so just a slight alteration on his last delivery. Little touch on the jack. Body language likes it. Normally can tell with Rob as well.
This is close.
Urging on. This looks very good. Slips past the green ball.
Just.
Yeah, does it.
Just as good enough. And set out the green ball. Might be line 2 now.
He's played some big bowls in this game as Rob Paxton. See it again. Rob urging it on. Nice little feather off the front bowl. Perfect weight. Jamie Chesney. 1 bowl to stay in the pairs.
Yep, so as it stands, Rob and Johnny are through to the final. Let's see if Jamie can change it. He's done it before. How does he like it? How does Mark like it?
Mark's asking it to stop. Be able to tell by the reaction on the...
Jamie.
This is close.
Gently, gently,
This
gently.
is close. Stay with it.
It sits down.
He's got
What
it.
a great bowl.
Oh, Mark, lovely.
Oh, there he goes again. Jamie Chesney. Watch how hard you hit hands, lads. That's your bowling
One
hands.
green.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got a jack and then ran it. thought he was going to fall into the bank.
Now, pressure back to Rob Paxton.
Of course, Rob knows he's got the comfort of a tie break to play, but he wants to finish this game now. He won't want to go into a tie break. Slight disturbance in
Bad time to have a little bit of a disturbance in the crowd. Rob does right to just reset himself. He's experienced enough to do that.
Playing with a bit of weight. Let's see what happens.
He likes it. He definitely likes this bowl.
I don't know.
Oh, just got wrecked on the short
One
green
shot.
bowl.
Second set, Chesney
We're
indoors.
going to
match
tie break.
Well, I think it's deserving of a tie break. Quite close throughout. The first set really didn't tell us the full story, despite the scoreline.
Partnership of Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney won the last 4 ends in that second set to set up a
First
tie
end
break.
John won the toss and has given his jack to Mark.
So this is 3 ends, best of. First to win 2. It doesn't matter how many shots you count on an end. It's all down to winning the end. A little bit of luck can be involved in tie-break ends.
Jack length, 27 metres.
Johnny and Rob won the toss, and they've elected to give Jack to Jamie and Mark
Someone,
for them to set the distance.
room
Electing
round if you want
instead
to play it,
have the
Anna.
last bowl of the first end. Which means Jamie and Mark have the choice in the second end. Some players like to dictate from the distance,
have a
some
yard, mate.
like to have the fallback of the last bowl to play with.
I think that's very dependent on how important length of jack casting's been.
Absolutely.
Whereas in this game, all 4 players have played to all lengths, so I think Rob favours himself to have the last bowl if possible.
Of course, we do have an extra rule that comes into play in the third end, should we get to that point.
John looks on a good line here. What's his weight like?
Stay a touch.
Very good. Sneak in. Still plenty of room for Mark.
Good try, guys. Good try.
Great effort from Mark. Still
Gaffer,
nothing
yours 8.
really nailed it yet. The thing is, you don't want to be short for your partner. You want to have something behind that they can use.
She's on a do. How much she's on a do, Russ? And swing, and swing. And again, mate. Good.
I have a feeling it's the first in for these skips. Whichever one of them gets the shot in first will put pressure on their opposition. Jamie, great track. Again, that little bit of a disturbance. Just reset yourself, Rob.
Some players you can have an elephant run in front of them, they wouldn't worry about it, but others very sensitive.
Swing all the way back now.
It's very good.
Just hung off.
That's the shot.
And Jamie, just on your last. Asking it to move.
Get off the line. Get off the line now.
Just not coming down in time. Mark asking it to get off the line.
Perfect.
Lovely weight.
Let out some good line. Yes, mate.
We're either choking the draw. No, like that.
Nail the draw.
The discussion here. It's still an open draw, but Rob Paxton's got 2 bowls to Jamie Chesney's 1, and Red have the advantage of holding shot at the moment. Just wonder if he's had a look at the head, which is good. Draw either hand, really. Looking down the backhand here, though, to reach the green bowls. Just to the right of your screen. This has got to make it all the way back to that green bowl. If it rests it, it's very good. Looks to be very good to me. Great bowl that.
Good home too.
Red got the advantage at end 1 of this tie-break in the semi-finals here of the Open World Indoor Pairs.
We've seen what Jamie can do though. He's got them out of a bit of a pickle on the last couple of ends.
Tighter line.
Just playing the draw. It's a much better line.
Well, what's your weight like, Jamie?
Is Mark going to get ready to run? He is, I think.
I think he could be.
Steady,
Oh,
steady,
what a
steady.
He
brilliant
could
ball.
be.
Look at that.
Well played, Jamie.
Great toucher.
Just save it to your last bowl at every end.
Yeah, I bowl you.
We see that bowl again. Perfect adjustment.
Mark didn't want to run then. I don't know why.
I think he don't. Tied himself out with the 2 previous ends.
Yeah. Didn't want to run away.
All right, it's just a little bit of a disturbance, unfortunately, in the crowd. I think we might have medics being called for. Somebody's just taken unfortunately ill. Just be a short break at the moment. We'll just keep you informed of what's happening, but it'll just be a short break. I'll be back with you as soon as we can.
Oh, God, be careful. Sure they did. Well, tell her be careful. Take us off the ball.
Just about a second now.
I did hear something just
Well, like I say, just a short interlude at the moment. Well, this lady's just been looked into. A good game so far, Dan. It's unfortunate that these things happen, but so many spectators in it. It's one of those things. Just hopefully we'll find out how she is and be able to let you know. For now, we're just taking a short break for the players. I'll just let you know some information. The next game up this afternoon will be Andy Thompson. Oh, he's there, dressed and raring to go. Andy Thompson, MBE and Mark Royal playing Greg Harlow and Nick Brett. And if you can't stay with us this afternoon, you'll be able to get all the news and information off the website. You see the CEO of the World Bowls Tour there, Richard Maddison, the shirt and tie watching on. Deputy Tournament Director Tom Weers down in the auditorium dealing with the situation. If you can't stay with us today, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock we have Jamie Chesney versus Chris Gale. At 2 o'clock we have David Gawley versus John McCrory, one of the Scottish qualifiers. And at 7:30 tomorrow night we have Mark Dawes versus C.Y. Wong, who is the overseas singles qualifier. So some good games to come over the next few days.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we had a slight medical issue on the top here. Everything's all right. The young lady is okay. So if everybody just like to settle down, and we can resume play as soon as we can. Thank you.
Well, that's great news to hear, Dan. Apparently the lady is okay. She's just left the auditorium.
Yeah, she'll go and get some fresh air, hopefully. Probably just the heat in there. I think it's quite warm down in the arena.
The thing is, Rob will have a little bit of disturbance now where people just settle themselves back down again. Big bowl this for Rob Paxton at a crucial time in this first end of the tie break. Can he remove the green bowl of Jamie Chesney? Oh dear. I believe that was a phone that just went off as well.
Everybody check your phones, please. Turn them off. Of course, nobody can hear me in the arena.
Oh, even Alan Thornhill's just asked everybody to take the seats, and oh, you've really got a feel for Rob Paxton here. That is really harsh call, this. Some stages, if it's a long delay, they get to have another couple of trial ends, but this is one bowl to save a tie-break end. Oh, Rob, focus. Jamie Chesney's bowl needs to be removed from this head, otherwise you drop the first end of the tie-break. Tell you what, he's in the area.
He's on a very good
He's
track.
very close.
Oh, that's... You have to feel sorry for Rob there. Very, very difficult. Very difficult circumstances for Robert there.
Yeah, there's not a lot else you can do really, Dan. I mean, you can't replay the ends. That wouldn't be fair on Chesney and Dawes. So, awkward situation all round that.
No win on that one apart from Jamie and Mark winning the end.
And the good news that the lady is recovering.
We do remind our audience members to take in plenty of fluids, so they can be sat down for a couple of hours. They probably have been in there a few hours because they started at 2 o'clock. They probably would have taken their seats before that time.
Really good, mate. Hang on, hang on.
Just overplayed this. Right, so back to the situation. Jamie Chesney and Mark Dawes have won the first end of the tie-break, so if they win this end, they take their place in next Monday's Open Pairs final. If Robert Paxton and Jonathan Ross win this end, we're going to a third end of a tie-break.
Few comments on the stream about disturbances in the crowd and why players are so sensitive to it. It is very, very quiet out there. It's a slight disturbance.
Yeah, it seems to be amplified in somewhere like this as well. Normally Rob's not a big one for being disturbed, but with all the things that just went on there for that 15 minutes, it's totally understandable.
The outdoors you do play with birds chirping and traffic going past the greens and things, but it's background noise. There's no background noise here at all.
Really good.
Apart from the air conditioning units.
Nicely now.
And got a great little wiggle off the short red bowl.
One red.
Just wonder if Jamie might ask Mark to reach into this. 1, 2 off the 2 red bowls. Yep. Jack in ditch being called for. Gets it close enough. It could be game over. It's set up for him.
He's a bit high and wide.
Well.
Mind you, any result? No, not quite. Jamie and Mark with the comfort of a third end if they need it. Whereas Rob and Johnny can't afford to lose. They must win this end.
Well, let's just hope for all the players involved out there managed to complete the game without any more disturbances. Such a shame when
Yep,
things
hang
like
about.
that happen, can't be helped.
Hang about.
One moment. Move on from
Jamie's
there,
asking if he
no,
can
no,
go
no.
again. Is the draw on? Draw kills it off really, if he can just tuck the jack away.
Oh, Jamie.
I'm just urging it on a little bit. Not quite making the journey.
It's not in your way just to move the jack that distance. 2.5 feet short. Big swoop. Get in line of the jack. Get in line of the jack. Yeah. Might do help it.
Still just one down, mate. You either add 1 yard, 2, what do you prefer? If it looks nice play, mate.
It looks down the gap here really.
Not quite.
I don't know whether Jamie will take that option, but they have got the best back as well. Well, needs a bit of luck here. Goes on the respot.
Got the respot.
Green's got the respot. Lots of room for Rob Paxton though. Bit fortuitous, as we would say.
Jamie was the first one to hold his hand up and apologise for that. Which is no compensation, of course, for being on the other end of it.
One bowl each now. Rob Paxton needs to be as close as he can. Doesn't want to set it up jack high because Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney have got the best back and also got the bowl that's holding shot at the moment. So wherever this bowl finishes will be a target bowl for Jamie Chesney.
Don't know where you want to be with this.
It's pretty good.
Whoa.
Well, I don't think Jamie Chesney will hang about at this.
Pull wider. Or,
It's bowl or jack really,
Bowl or
Dan.
jack, yeah.
Bowl or jack to go into the final of the pairs.
Unless, of course, he gets the jack and slices it out again and it comes straight back on the respot.
Is he close? We'll hear from Mark shortly.
Oh, mate.
Is he close?
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it. They're going to the final. Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney. Thanks for your company, Dan. Join us after the short break for Andrew Thompson, MBE, and Mark Royal versus Greg Harlow and Nick Brett.